Hello, children. Are you ready for another magical tale? Today, we'll follow a brave young girl named Liana on a journey beyond the mountains, where ancient legends and hidden magic still exist. It's a story about courage, kindness, and the fire that lives in our hearts. Let's dive into the world of Liana and the Last Ember. Long ago, in a village nestled in the shadow of the Ember Mountains, the people believed in the legend of the eternal flame, a magical fire that once burned in the heart of the tallest peak. It was said that the flame kept the world warm, seasons in balance, and sadness away. But one day, the flame vanished. Snow began to fall in midsummer, crops died, laughter faded. And though no one remembered exactly how or why the flame disappeared, the legend remained, passed down through whispers and bedtime stories. 12-year-old Liana had always believed in the flame. While others shrugged it off as a fairy tale, she would sit by the fire every night and listen to her grandmother's stories about the Flame Keeper, a person chosen once in a generation to guard the eternal flame. "I wish I could find it," Liana would whisper. Her grandmother would smile gently. "Perhaps you will, child. Perhaps the flame chooses those with warm hearts." One winter morning, a strange bird appeared in the sky. It was unlike anything anyone had seen. Feathers like glowing coals, eyes that sparkled like firelight. It circled the village once and then disappeared behind the mountains. The elders called it a sign. "The flame stirs again," they said. "But who will answer its call?" That night, as snow blanketed the village, Liana woke to a soft warmth on her windowsill. There, resting on the snow, was a single glowing feather. She held it in her hand, and it didn't melt the snow. It melted her fear. Without telling anyone, Liana packed a small bag, bundled up in furs, and followed the feather's glow toward the Ember Mountains. The journey was harsh, cold winds, steep paths, and eerie silence. But the feather guided her like a little sun. On the second day, she found a frozen stream, and beneath the ice, a wolf trapped and whimpering. She hesitated, knowing wolves could be dangerous. But then she remembered her grandmother's words. "A warm heart never turns away from those in need." She broke the ice with a stone until the wolf was free. It limped away, looked back at her once, then disappeared into the trees. By the third day, Liana reached the base of the tallest peak. There stood a crumbled stone archway with runes glowing faintly. She stepped through, and everything changed. The snow vanished. Warmth filled the air. Trees bloomed with golden leaves. She was in another world, hidden within the mountain. At the center of a lake of light stood a glowing stone platform, and on it a tiny ember flickering weakly. The last ember. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and from the shadows emerged a dark figure, tall, cloaked in smoke, with eyes like dying coals. "I am Ashen," it growled, "guardian of the cold. Leave the ember, let the world forget fire." Liana stood her ground. "Why do you want the flame gone?" Ashen stepped forward. "Because fire brings warmth, yes, but also war, greed, destruction. The world is better cold, quiet." "But it also brings life," she replied. "Hope, kindness. It's not the fire that's bad, it's how we choose to use it." Ashen laughed. "And what will you do with it, little one?" Liana took a deep breath, then stepped onto the platform. The ember flickered. She knelt, cupped her hands around it, and whispered, "I'll keep it safe. Not to rule, but to share." The ember flared bright, lighting the cave. Ashen shrieked and shrank away, but instead of disappearing, he paused. The wolf from the frozen stream appeared behind Liana and transformed. It was no ordinary wolf, but a guardian spirit of warmth, restored by Liana's kindness. "You have been shown a better path, Ashen," the spirit said. "Let the warmth in." Ashen stood silent. Then, like snow in spring, he melted away. Liana returned to the village with the last ember glowing in a lantern. Wherever she walked, frost melted, flowers peeked through the snow, and smiles returned to tired faces. The villagers built a new shrine at the edge of town where the ember burned, not for power, but for light and warmth. And every winter, when the cold crept in, they gathered around it to tell stories, not just of the eternal flame, but of a girl with a warm heart who reminded the world how to care. Moral of the story: true strength comes not from power, but from kindness, courage, and the warmth we share with others. Even the smallest ember can light the way in the darkest times.